My name is Carmen Rivera. My profession is I am a playwright. I write for the theater. There are different types of writers. There's poets and fiction writers. A playwright writes specifically for the theater, for a live performance, not for a film. It's not a film script. It's specifically for actors to memorize their scripts and to memorize what the playwright writes, and it's performed in the theater. A lot of playwrights actually who didn't go to college at all, and most have gone to college. So I don't want to say the only way to become a playwright is to get educated, but 99% of the playwrights who do write need to get educated. You need to study the history of playwriting, you need to study theater history and the technique, the craft of playwriting. It is a profession, it does require that you study a craft. I got my undergraduate degree in economics and Latin American literature, so I wasn't even in the theater. And then I decided to go into the theater, so I went back to school and I got my master's in playwriting and Latin American theater. So I think it's very, very important. I know there are a lot of playwrights who say that they never got educated and don't go to school. I don't believe in that. I think you need to get educated. I think playwrights also need to know about life and about history and about where people come from in anthropology and economics and politics. You cannot write about people and not know about the world that they live in. So I think it's very, very important to be educated. If a young woman is interested in becoming a playwright or going into the theater or becoming an actor, they first should investigate their school if there's a drama program at their school. There usually is, but there might not be. I mean, with all the budget cuts and everything, it's all been, arts have suffered so much at the schools. If there isn't one, I think the step 2 is find your guidance counselor and see in your neighborhood if there are community centers that have drama programs. I know I taught playwriting at places in New York community centers where a lot of students who didn't have drama programs at their school would take drama class at the different centers that I taught at. So the step 2 is to find out if there's a community center. And usually it could be a Y, it could be a neighborhood community center. The internet now, schools have internet, Google youth theater. That's a really good subject to Google, youth theater, and see Youth Theater Roxbury, Youth Theater Boston, and what's in the neighboring communities. New York would be Bronx, would be Long Island, Brooklyn, and just get involved and don't be scared and throw yourselves in. I think that's a really great way to see if that's what really, if that's something that you really like. If it is something that you really like, when you're applying to college, ask your guidance counselor to find out what schools have drama programs or writing programs. And I think that that's something that it's within their reach. And use the resources that we have. And even if it's a school that doesn't have a lot of resources, there is a teacher. If there isn't a guidance counselor, ask a teacher. Get a computer. Google youth theaters. Google theater programs. Google drama classes. There's ways to find. Sometimes you have to look a little hard, but that's okay. It's within our reach.